Hi, this is Majinoni, and here's my manga review for DRRR. Now, this is volume 1, and it's put out by Yen Press. And DRRR basically takes place in the city of Ikebukuro in Japan. And it centers around the story of this young kid named Mikado. He travels from the country to the bigger city, and through the invitation of his childhood friend Asomi. Now, the first volume is pretty much Asomi showing Mikado around the town, and I think one thing I thought was interesting is, well, it may not be, it's not giving it enough, I don't think, but it's it is giving you a little bit of sampling of the city. We haven't seen much of it yet, but there's little bits and pieces of it which I think add a little bit more flair to it compared to like a regular manga where you don't have that sense of the city being important. And like for example, Bakuman, while that Bakuman takes place in Tokyo, it's just pushed to the background, which is fine because that's where I think in most cases the city's not important. But in this case, it's like I said, it's giving everything a much more life to it. Now, anyways, like I was mentioning before, Asomi basically is showing Mikado around town, and he's basically going, okay, this guy, he's a Russian guy who you don't want to mess with, but he's a nice guy. Then you want to watch out for this person over here. Watch out for the mysterious dollars, because they're a little quirky. And there's some really interesting characters along the way where they have, like I said, even though they appeared briefly, they just have a little spark of uniqueness, or, for lack of a better word, quirkiness. Like, Mikado basically, he goes to the anime manga shop, and in there he meets some kids, like fellow school-age kids, and they talk about manga briefly, and that's this part right here. So it's things like that. The characters are kind of interesting. They don't seem to be generic, which I thought was refreshing. The character that I really liked the most was the Black Rider. Now, Mikado, in his first night there, meets the Black Rider, and the Black Rider is it's a mysterious, interesting type character, and there's the Black Rider there. Now, I'll say that the Rider is basically the supernatural type character, but yet they give you a hint of mystery around her, and I don't know, it's one of these things I'm afraid that I'm going to be disappointed once I get to know too much about the Black Rider. I don't want to know much about it, but somebody is trying to help, I guess you can say, cure the Black Rider. And I kind of don't want that to happen. But that's, I haven't gone far enough into this yet to know. Now, it's basically, I guess you can say there's, like I said, with all the characters, there's some good and there's some bad. And the bad is really, really evil. It almost reminds me of somebody who lacks any type of ethics and will do anything on a whim, even to harm, the fellow, classmates or fellow mankind, just because it would amuse him. And so I think that's another character that's going to basically pull me in a little bit more. Now, but the only thing is, I'm not sure. I can't really say I totally enjoyed this story. I think what could potentially happen is because there's going to be so many characters, and because if this book doesn't come out frequently, I'm just going to forget who people are over time. Because I read too much stuff, and characters eventually start blending into each other every now and then. And it's not a simple cast. Like I said, there's a lot of characters, a lot of street gangs. There's supposed to be, I guess, 9 main characters. Anytime you have 9 main characters who are all unique, that's where you're going to cause... like I said, I think it's a very ambitious way of creating a story, and for that I'm going to give them props for that. But I just hope they are able to keep it interesting and balanced, so this way you can tell the story and be able to progress with all the characters. But I will say is I just do not like Mikado. I think he's really boring. I don't think he's interesting. I think he's your basic typical country boy going to a big city, and for right now I think he's a waste of space. I think the art's pretty decent. It's nothing spectacular. It does go from like a standard manga style of art, but then every once in a while, like, you get this kind of loose inkish style, especially around with like the Black Rider, like this kind of stuff. So I like the change of art and how it goes from one to another, but it's not overdoing it. The character designs are interesting, but for the most part, I don't think they're exceptional. I think, if anything, it's the personality of some of these characters that are standing out, and because of that, it's drawing the character design out more than just the way their appearance is. And overall, I think, like I said, I think it's decent. Oh, yeah, and there's also, you get the chat logs, which I think also is a nice little touch. It kind of breaks up the story, breaks up the day-to-day part, and you can go from one chunk of the story, or part of the story, do the chat log, and then it goes to something else. So it's a nice transition between scenes. If you like something that's, if you want something that's maybe more, not mecha, not like the, pretty boyish, shoujo, but something slice of life or high school life with a evil, supernatural type twist to it, you might want to give DRRR a chance. And what I mean by supernatural is pretty much centered around the Black Rider, because that Black Rider is not a normal human. Anyways, if you have any comments or questions, let me know. Rate the video up or down, let me know what you think, and I'll put up more reviews and stuff later, so until next time.